very optimistic about the future of motion graphics and design. I tell you why. Motion graphics definitely going to take place in the AR field.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Designer's ninth podcast today. And this podcast topic is After Effects. And today I have a lovely guest with me whose name is Valeri. And he is an amazing After Effects designer and has almost 100,000 followers on Instagram. So, hi, Valeri, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for actually giving designer the time it needs. And let's start with the first question, Valerie. That is the
Mhm.
roadmap of getting into After Effects.
All right. So the roadmap to get to After Effects and to motion graphics field. Um, I tell a little bit about my story, and maybe a lot of your listeners will can connect with it. So before I started to learn motion graphics, I love to draw and illustrate. Didn't know what is graphic design at all. Um, and when I grew up, I started to learn visual communication degree. It's 4 years degree, and where we learned most of the time graphic design. And then I discovered After Effects. One of our classes was After Effects, and then I discovered the software and I discovered the world of motion graphics. And this is how I started with my journey. I very loved it. And when I started, and for people who want to start with After Effects, I highly suggest, or motion graphics in general, I highly suggest, to learn very little about graphic design theories, basic theories like typography, like concept thinking, like frame design, how to composition design, a little bit of lighting, and color theory, of course, a little bit of everything. You don't need to, read 1 week about one subject. Give yourself 2 days about one subject in design, and then start to think about motion graphics, and then start to practice After Effects, because it will be very easy, much easier to start with it, with After Effects and with animation in general, after you have in the back of your mind a little bit knowledge about graphic design.
Wow. So I just loved your journey into After Effects. And yeah, you are right that motion design actually requires a lot of technicality stuff, and like how we can actually combine different aspects of design and make a very good motion design. So one question I had in mind, as a beginner, if we are getting into motion design, what do you think is the first step into After Effects?
Mhm. The first step in After Effects is to see in general, the final product of this software, which this software can provide. Like find some studios online or on Instagram in motion graphics and visual, studios like this, and see what products they provide. And after you see these products, I'm talking about videos, animated videos, you can understand what you can make in this software, all right? And it's basically no limits. But you can understand in general what you can do. After you see a lot of references, you can maybe you can get some reference that you love the most, because motion design is very big subject, all right, big field. And I suggest for a beginner, after seeing a lot of videos, to pick one or two styles that they'll love the most. After they pick one or two styles, then they can learn the software according to the style, because it will be for them much easier to learn, because they love what they're doing. All right, jumping straight to After Effects, just to testing around a bunch of different things, can mess things up in your head, and you can be overloaded with the things you can create. So I prefer choose one or two styles, and try to recreate or learn the styles like this. This can help you also be focused on what tutorials you can see, or what courses you can get for learning After Effects and motion graphics. So focusing in the beginning, try to focus and try to understand what you love, what your eyes telling you thank you for it. Try to understand what you love, and then it will be easier for you to find stuff to learn according to what you find.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree, guys. One more question that comes to a person's mind when creating After Effects designs or videos is that it's very complex, right? People think After Effects is super complex. How did you overcome personally the fear of complexity and actually improve your design with it?
So I actually, as I told you guys, I've been a very bad student in the After Effects class in my journey, and this makes me feel that I have to improve, right? Because I don't love where in my class somewhere else good at someone and something, and I'm not good in this. So I try to improve myself every time, and I just started to do not in a good way. I just started to make every kind of styles in After Effects, but the one thing that helped me the most is to concentrate on what style I want to to practice on it, and I choose the 2D motion graphics style, like a little bit characters, a little bit graphics like basic shapes and stuff like this. And then I just started to create an animation every day. And this is how I started my journey on Instagram. I started to create crappy animations every day, and illustrations, of course, because I love it. And that's it. I just created some animation, like I think about some subject in my head, like never give up, don't give up, or something like that. And I try to create an abstract animation on it. Or I think about, I don't know, fire, to create fire so I look a bunch of tutorials and try to combine with a bunch of tutorials to create something, in my style. And every day I did it for a year, something like this. Okay. I try to create every animation every day, but not always I could create animation every day. So sometimes it's after 2 days, after 3 days, but don't stop, don't stop, because practice make it perfect. And don't be judged on yourself too much at the beginning. This is the most important thing. If you don't mess with clients, there is no one else that need to give you a judgment. And the last person that need to give you judgment is yourself, especially in the beginning. So create an animation, create something or some motion graphics that you try to create. It's going to be a crappy one, and just be happy about the thing that you practice, and not the final result, because your final result in the beginning, in the first year, going to be very not beautiful. All right. So just be happy about the practicing, don't try to create something amazing visually, just first year or half year, get yourself together and focus only on practicing. Don't be happy or sad if it's you getting 2 likes or 4 likes, or you think it's pretty or not pretty. Just practice, just practice.
Well, that's a very interesting take that you have, because I think many people give up when it comes to actually creating stuff on After Effects because the process
Mm-hmm.
is so long. And as you're
Mm-hmm.
saying that about likes, so you started to post your content on Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. You started as a tutor or a mentor who gives tutorials, correct? So,
Uh, I
okay,
actually once I heard the sense that the best way to learn something is to teach. All right. So I started with this. I started 4 years ago. All
okay.
right. And this is what motivates me. I always in the back of my hand I had this sentence that
Hmm.
tells the best way to learn something is to teach. So I decided to create. I learned to make I don't know, so highlights or shadings in After Effects, and then I tried to create a tutorial on it. I learned how to create some crappy text animation, and I tried to teach it. All right, in my tutorials, and that's it. And then I get improved, and my community get improved with me, and
Very
it's a
interesting.
happy story.
Yeah, like, I didn't knew that, and I thought everyone starts like just by posting their own content, right? What they have created, but you took a different step. So, do you recommend this to everyone to actually, gain some audience as well, side by side, and also learn experiences by connecting with people through the journey? Do you recommend this path?
Do I recommend what? Can you tell me
Like this,
once
taking this
more?
social media path that you took?
Mm. All right, good question, great question. The social media part, um, as I told you, I'm a person that love to when people see my creations, and I love when people admire my creations. Um, so that's why I started with social media. This is why I started to Instagram, because um, I wanted people to see, how good I'm in illustration, and now I'm learning After Effects. Like, but if you don't care about this, um, I think social media you don't have to make it, but I suggest everyone that decided that he wants this journey. So I highly recommend to post on social media. Pick some
I agree.
one platform or two platforms, and upload on this stuff, because it's a little bit of your history. You can
Yeah.
always go back and talk about it and see how you improved, and from this kind of perspective, like it's a cloud when you store your process. So I suggest to start to post on social media. Yes.
Yeah, I completely agree with you with this point, because social media also gets you audience. Social media will also get you criticism. These two are the most important thing for a designer.
Mm-hmm.
And another
Mm-hmm.
question, and a trend that we all humans have witnessed in 2023 is obviously
Mm-hmm.
artificial intelligence. So, what do you think
Yes.
about the term AI? And do you think
Mm-hmm.
can it actually replace video editors like us?
First of all, AI dropped, like boom in short period of time. We didn't know about it, and someone speak about it, someone else, and then after 1 week or 2 weeks, like the social media bombed with AI content. And social media and AI, I think it's a great thing for creators and for business owners. It's we don't need to waste our time about thinking, oh, it's going to improve the world, it's good or bad, how I feel about it. It's already happening. It's like with the internet, it's already happening. Just try to get your hand on it, because it's better, if better than the person that don't understand it. It's better to put your feelings aside and try to get involved in it. In the perspective of editors and video creators and motion graphics, I think it's not going to replace, but it's going to be like this. I think, like, let's say we have a company, and now a company needs to create content, all right, for marketing or for I don't know what. Let's say for marketing, and now they have 3 designers. And now with AI, instead of like before AI, 3 designers can create it in 1 week. Let's say six contents, whether either the posts or videos, 6 of this. And now with AI, in this exact period of time, the people will create more, 3 times more or 5 times more. So I think AI going, maybe it can, the business company owner can, get rid of one of the designers and stay with the 2, but AI not going to replace anyone. AI going to add more capability and content and more stuff to do in short period of time. And this is the number one goal of every business, to create more in short period of time. Whether it's video design or even clothes, this does not matter.
Interesting. Another product that's gonna come and launch in the US is the Apple Vision Pro. What do you think about that in terms of the designer's eye?
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of waiting for this because I'm imagine how cool. No, it's look no awful. It's look awful. It looks very very strange, and but the thing that you can I don't know. I work with 2 monitors. Yeah, I work with 2 monitors, and I see my monitors and they're small, so I always want more and more. So with this thing, I imagine to myself, how can I work? Like, wow, I can open a big screen and open my panels around the my room and just sit and look at this. I think it's can be very 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 cool and very productive, going to help to be more productive, but it's going to take a lot of time until you can sit and work for 6 or 8 hours, because right now it's just a beginning. It's very very in the beginning of this thing, because the battery can last only 2 hours, and if you run on the regular stuff, but if you run complicated programs or softwares like After Effects or Cinema 4D or Blender or something like this, the battery going to end in 1 hour. So you cannot actually do something in 1 hour, and then you need to charge it and then put it on. So it's going to take a lot of I don't know, a lot of time, but I think at least 1 year until people actually can work and use it. But for now, it's going to be very very cool to capture the moment. Instead of taking the picture, you can take the picture in AR style. You can actually
Quite interesting stuff happening these days, and like with the tech industry and everything. But when it comes to design and motion design, as the topic is today, and talking about After Effects, do you think what is the future of motion design and when designing in After Effects? What do you think?
All right, so it's a great question, and I'm very optimistic about the future of motion graphics and design. I tell you why. It's because nowadays most of the content it's live people. Uh, when we're scrolling, we see a very very much of a lot of content of someone talk about something in front of the camera. As usual, human beings, after a period of time, get used to it, and it's going to be a little annoying to see a person talking, every time a person talking, and can be annoying. And I think, we can't stop to create content. Nobody going to stop to create content. So instead of people talking, like I don't know, beautiful creatures of AI going to talk, or motion graphics will be start to be more popular than content in life, live person, and we can start seeing these things in the content, like minimalistic black and white videos like Dan Coe and creators like this. And I think this is the beginning of a kind of replacement of the people that going to talk in front of the camera, because it can be annoying
Yeah.
very very soon. So this type of content, like an abstract visualizations of concepts, or like Dan Code do, it's going to involve more.
Mhm.
And this is, I think, the future in social media.
Yeah.
And motion graphics definitely going to take a place in the AR field,
Yeah.
because these glasses of Google glasses and
Yeah.
Facebook
Meta
glasses, I
glasses.
don't
Yeah.
know, make these glasses, and they go. Everyone will be, a lot of people will be with these glasses, and we walk around in the streets. There will be a new sort of commercials, a new topic of commercials started with this wave, a glasses wave, and the motion graphics will be adapted to the AR marketing strategies, which is to create some I don't know, a kind of holograms, but with glasses, so people can when we walk around the streets, we will see like an animation, a cool animation, or some sign, street sign, or animated logo, or of something, some company with the glasses.
Yeah. So as you were speaking about people talking in the videos, like people are using their so-called no face social media accounts, which like only talks about facts and like the sigma male facts that you can say that trend or Instagram. And but there's one statement that I have heard, that people follow people don't follow brands, people follow faces. What do you think?
Mhm. Yes, it's correct. It's nowadays, but right now, the people, this is the people of this area, of this decade, we love faces. You don't know what my children and your children going to love. What our parents loved in their decades, this is not something that we love right now. So it's always sort of involving, and this type of content and this type of statement that you say, it's correct for this decade, but we don't know what's going to happen in the next decade, on the 2 decades from now. Maybe it's not going to be faces.
Very well answered. Like I thought, didn't even imagine that even this can happen. Now that you have mentioned it, now when I think about it, I
Mhm.
completely agree that with what our parents used to love, we don't love it. Correct. And now
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
love, our next generation won't love it. Completely agree.
yeah.
Completely agree. Okay. So summing it all up with your tips and tricks of for all the
Uh-huh.
audience over here, and how they can get better in design, specifically in motion.
So as I told in the beginning, first thing, take yourself 2 weeks on learning graphic design fundamentals, all right, and theories, um, and then start with playing around with the software, all right, with After Effects. And I highly suggest to find some course or some tutorial on YouTube, or never mind, where you can start to learning the After Effects from scratch. Even if you know a little bit about the panels and that, but start learning. Take yourself another 2 weeks just to make an order in your mind to learn the software and the panels, the technical side of After Effects first, before you're trying to create some crazy animations. Because it's going to, when you understand the software and you don't think about, how I need to press this, how I need to create this, you empty your mind for the creative side. You have a mind and you always think about the technical, but when you don't feel about the technical 50%, you have an empty room about thinking about some creative things. All right, so it's better to learn for 2 weeks or 1 month or 3 months, the technical side, and after I talking about After Effects, yeah, and only after it get your knowledge about the design fundamentals that you learned, and now you have the After Effects technical experience a little bit, and now you can with these two skills create something interesting in animation form. That's it. This is why actually I giving my biggest course with 20 lessons. I put it on YouTube for free, and this is exactly like this. This is the technical side of of After Effects from scratch, for a beginner. Because everyone deserves a chance to understand, even if they like it or not. Because maybe you love motion graphics, but when you deal with After Effects in the 10th lesson, you can understand, oh no, this is not for me. I don't get used to it. I don't. But if you push yourself and you say, all right, it's cool, and you go over it, then you can understand that you actually can continue and start to create the stuff you want.
Well, thank you so much, Valeri. And I actually saw your YouTube video of that 20 courses. And guys, don't worry, I'll drop the exact link to the YouTube video of Valeri. And I have seen his tutorials, and I know many of you have seen his tutorials as well. So all the beginners out there, just don't procrastinate. Just get on the software. Just keep on experimenting stuff. Even if you fail, it's up to you, that right? No one else is judging you. So just don't get scared. And I completely agree with Valeri on all his points. And we had a great discussion today. And we will definitely call Valeri in our Discord server for another talk session very soon. So stay tuned for that.
I will be glad.
Stay tuned for that, everyone. And thank you so much for watching this episode. And bye-bye, and have a great day.